This is my tutorial video on a screen replacement for the a1932 MacBook Air 13-inch. The bits needed for this repair are the Penelope P5, Torx T8, T5, and T4. Those are all included in your iFixit ProTech toolkit. We are starting with the bottom plate. The first bit that you're going to need is going to be the Penelope P5, Apple's proprietary bit. After removing the 10 Penelope P5 screws, just give a little tug at the back of the bottom plate and it'll snap free. Next, we're going to remove the battery, pull back on the little plastic tape, and then push on the little ridge on the battery with a plastic sponger. It'll push the battery connector right out. Disconnect the antenna cables for the Wi-Fi and the Bluetooth. I prefer to use a fingernail. It is easier to control than a plastic sponger. The connectors are very fragile. Be careful. Go ahead and remove the 4 T5 screws holding down the metal rail. Make sure to organize your screws for easy reassembly. It's also a good practice for more complicated repairs like some of the older MacBooks or even iPhones. With a T4 screwdriver, remove the 2 screws holding down the retention bracket for the logic board to screen connector. Very carefully disconnect the logic board to screen connector. With a T5 screwdriver, remove the 2 screws holding the screen board to the shell of the MacBook Air. So now let's go ahead and remove the metal rail. It can be a bit tricky to remove as it seems like it also clips into place. A little force may be required. Sorry about the angles on this. With a T8 screwdriver, remove the 6 screws holding the hinges to the shell of the MacBook Air. This is easily done by slightly opening the laptop so it can stand up like a teepee. Then fully open the laptop and gently remove the screen assembly from the rest of the MacBook Air. Congratulations, we're halfway there. So for mounting the replacement screen to the MacBook Air, I like to hang the screen over the edge of my work area or bench. I am holding the screen in place while I add 1 T8 screw to each hinge. I do prefer to use the center holes for the most support. I then stand the laptop up like a teepee again to add the remaining 4 T8 screws to the MacBook Air, 2 on each side. Reinstall the metal rail and use the two T5 screws to hold the screen board to the MacBook shell. Go ahead and reconnect the logic board to screen connector. Reinstall the retention bracket with the two T4 screws. Next, we are going to reinstall the four T5 screws into the metal rail. To check and make sure it's lined up properly, you can look through the screw holes in the rail itself. This device is, as typical for Apple, way over-engineered. You could say it's half-baked to go along with the half-eaten Apple logo. Should have made a pie. We are going to reconnect the Wi-Fi and Bluetooth antennas. Be very careful. In my experience, these connectors are very easy to break. If you have some soldering skill, you can replace them quite easily, but why go through the extra work when being careful can save you from having to do that. You could also contact MTechs, who would be happy to fix it for you. I like to line them up and push with my finger till I feel them engage. I see people using tweezers or pliers to reinstall them. I do not recommend that at all. Next, we are going to reinstall the retention bracket and the two T4 screws holding it in place. Now it's time to gently reconnect the battery connector to the MacBook Air. Congratulations, you have 10 more screws and your job is complete. Before we put the last 10 screws in, let's go ahead and test and make sure the screen and the MacBook Air work. Thanks for watching our tutorial video on replacing the screen on a MacBook Air a1932, either a 2018 or 2019 model. If you would like your MacBook repaired, please contact us, MTechs Computers and Phone Repair in Hartville, Ohio. Please like and subscribe for more videos. Have a great day.